Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Jackie Speier of California. Congresswoman, thanks very much for joining us. Anxious to get your reaction to what you've heard so far on this day. Are you encouraged that your minority, the Democrats, can work with the new Republican majority and the new Republican president to really get stuff done in Washington?
I think both the Speaker and the Democratic leader, Nancy Pelosi, spoke eloquently about the importance of coming together, both finding common ground and then standing our ground. So to the extent that we're going to be able to do an infrastructure bill, I think that you will see Democrats embracing Republicans to create jobs in this country. We will not, however, undo the Affordable Care Act. We want to make sure that people who are suffering from cancers and heart disease continue to have health care and are not subject to pre-existing conditions, and that kids can stay on their families' policies, and that, in fact, the benefits that have accrued to so many will continue to.
You did hear Chuck Schumer, the new Democratic leader, the minority leader in the Senate. He was on the Senate floor earlier today, his first speech as the minority leader, and he warned, and I'm quoting him now, "We cannot afford a Twitter presidency." What does that signal to you?
Well, unfortunately, I think we have a Twitter presidency. In fact, I actually think we have a Twitter Speaker of the House, because it was the Republican caucus that was trying to undo the Office of Ethics, and yet with a simple tweet, the President-elect was able to scuttle that. But we got to remember, that came from the caucus, the Republican caucus, and in effect, the leader, the Speaker, was unable to get his caucus to comply until President-elect Trump tweeted.
You know, speaking of tweets, and you're on the Intelligence Committee, Trump tweeted this about Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay. He said this, he said, "There should be no further releases from Gitmo. These are extremely dangerous people and should not be allowed back onto the battlefield." That sounded like it was a direct message to the sitting president of the United States, President Obama. Don't even think about releasing any more of these inmates, these prisoners at Gitmo. What was your reaction?
There is only one president at a time in this country, and while President-elect Trump has done his level best to try and insert himself, he doesn't have that role until January 20th. President Obama has made this a cornerstone of his presidency. I've been to Gitmo. We're spending $3 million per detainee there, and they can be housed in a maximum security prison, and many are, in fact, housed in maximum security here in the United States. That is not furthering our interests. Those who are very dangerous will no doubt remain there, but others who we have not been able to charge with any kind of offense, who've been there for 10, 12, 13 years, we need to find a way to either charge them or release them.
Congresswoman Jackie Speier of California, thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Up next, President-elect